No, we can talk about the podcast. We don't have to get into too many details because there was a lot that happened.
Gotcha.
The good, bad, and the bad. There were two bads and one goods.
I see. Are you recording yet? Are we going to cover the bad, or are we just going to cover the bad later?
I don't even. What was the bad?
Just general road trip woes.
It was honestly fine. The driving was fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm driving long distance. I don't know. But
yeah. I've had to force myself to get used to driving long distances.
It wasn't too bad. I think the most we ever did was like 8.5 hours in a day. So
gotcha. Which is long, but not unreasonable.
Yeah, but also, I think do like these 12-hour days every day for a week. We didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. It's like, shouldn't you want to enjoy your road trip, not just sit in the car all day?
We met someone who I won't name who was doing 12-hour days and then not even into camping.
Oof.
It's like you just.
That's an experience. That I would not do. I have considered the drive out to, or fly out west, rent a vehicle, hit all of those national parks out there, kind of road trip, or drive out west to do that. But I simply think that after so many nights of camping, you just kind of need a good bed and a shower.
Hell yeah. If you're curious about how that experience would go, I can talk about that after the theme song.
All right.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
It's Elizabeth. Back and more of a menace than ever.
More of a menace? Oh,
yeah.
No. What are you getting up to?
I don't know. I'm not really up to anything, honestly. I just kind of said that.
You just got back from a trip. Did you want to talk about that? We can get to mine later, because that's no one cares about that.
That's true. I kind of am being a menace, but I'm being a menace to myself. I have been traveling. I'm in the middle of 4, potentially 5 straight weekends of travel, but they're all short-ish trips. So I went to St. Simon's Island for Labor Day weekend, which was really nice. I was visiting one of my childhood best friends and got to meet her boyfriend for the first time, which, big scary experience for the boyfriend, not for me.
I don't. Yeah.
It's he had to pass the test, but he didn't know what the test was. I was like, we'll see if you pass once I meet you. He passed. He's good. I approve. But it was really nice because, St. Simon's Island, for those listeners who have never been, is not a white sand beach like in Florida. It's more of a brown sand, but it's still a very, very nice beach, and I have a lot of love for it. It's in the Georgia coast, those barrier islands. I think they call it the Golden Isles. If you want to get all technical with the naming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, beach time, pool time, all around a very fun time. And then I went to Atlanta for the Georgia Tech game the next weekend. And to celebrate my birthday late with my family. And we had a 2-hour, I think it ended up being about 2-hour delay, maybe 2.5-hour delay on the game because of the rain. And so I was just sheltering in the little concourse area behind where the student section sits. Because originally I was in the concourse area where behind the normal fan stand area, and there was just so many people back there that it was hot and there was nowhere to exist. So ended up traveling over to the other concourse also in hope of finding some Chick-fil-A, which they were sold out of sandwiches. So that was quite interesting, considering you're like, oh, I'll just get a Chick-fil-A sandwich while I'm like waiting for the game to start. So the game has not started, and they were already sold out of sandwiches.
I feel like that's happened before, right?
Probably. It was just kind of a bummer because I was like, well, rats. I was going to eat a sandwich. You know, very much just one of those moments where you're like, well.
Said rats.
Yeah, I was like, rats. Been foiled like a cartoon villain. Rats.
So those are your travels. What's coming up then in the future?
Well, I went to Atlanta again this past weekend because I have some friends moving to Denver. And
come on.
Well, it was like their going away party. So I'm not gonna like skip it. And then this coming weekend I'm going to Nashville, which I'm pretty excited about. But it'll be a pretty short whirlwind of a trip, flying in Friday night and then leaving Sunday afternoon. Also flying.
And for our listeners, these are all the places that I just went to. So,
yes. Yeah, I think Nashville's going to be a very, like, brunch, go to a vineyard, activities kind of like that. So I'm hoping for still some, like, Nashville sightseeing. So I've actually never really done sightseeing in Nashville, and I would like to go see, you know, at least a few of the, like, Nashville stereotypical things to do. But I think as long as I get... Yeah, like the Parthenon.
Oh, yeah, we went there.
It's very, very Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief of me.
They referenced that at the Parthenon. Spoiler alert. They mentioned that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, there's one like sign that says that
that was filmed.
Yeah, there was one of like 2 movies filmed there. They didn't film. Okay, I'll spoil for you. They didn't film the inside. The interior was done on a sound stage, I think, but the exterior shots are all.
We're all actually filmed there. Gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, they would have really had to have done a lot with like CGI and stuff because of all the
There's a fight scene
with the Hydra. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all. But all the stuff where they're like, I think that's it. And they mentioned another movie too. I can't remember what was the other movie.
Speaking of movies, what came out recently that I wanted to talk? I was going to talk about a movie, but I was like, huh?
Meg 2.
Did not see Meg 2. Be honest, I don't think I'm that sad about it. I did not see Meg 1.
Didn't think you would.
I did. Did I tell you that I went, this is so ridiculous. For the 10th anniversary of the movie, Sharknado was released into theaters for like one night only. Back in like early August, I think. And I went and watched Sharknado in the movie theater, and it was just as awful as I remember it, but it was incredible.
Yeah, I don't think I can watch it. It's too much for me. Sorry.
I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. I mean, I think some of like the later movies, they like kind of realize, because they were like kind of serious about it. I will say my favorite part about going and seeing it at this like revival showing of it, in a sense, was that the original director, like, they had all of this like behind the scenes content and videos about it, and then just like them commenting on changing it so that it would actually fit for like the big screens. They had to do a lot of processing because it was not meant for that originally. So they like changed some of the scenes, and like one of the guys was like, yeah, I really wanted like to like have a shark fall down on like the spire of that like it's one of like the famous record studios in the area, and so they actually put that in for the to film screen feature, but it's not in the original. But the guy, the funniest part was, sorry, I like got very off track. The funniest part is that the director was like, this was like really good considering like how short of a timeline we had to like put this movie out and everything. And I'm like, yeah, you keep saying it's really good and then putting that like little asterisk of considering all of these extra external factors, because it's not actually really good.
Why did they need to get that out so quickly? I don't understand. Like, what were they?
I don't know. It seemed like it was like originally when they were putting it out, it was on whatever timeline the Sci-Fi Channel was like, yo, get this movie out.
Yeah, I'm sure they had some deadline. I just don't understand.
So it's just kind of funny, like when you think about it, in that sense. That they like put the whole, like they filmed the whole movie in like 20 days or something ridiculously short like that.
Yeah. I think it's
just
only like
adventure.
Two. It's pretty quick. It goes pretty quick, it feels like. Yeah. It's not a long movie.
So not to make a lot of people listen to my Sharknado musings, but those are my thoughts on the matter. Incredible film.
Okay.
If you're looking for a comedy. If you're looking for a serious action movie, maybe not, but it's pretty great. But I feel like there was another movie. Like, Oppenheimer and Barbie came out, and then has anything else come out since?
Yes, there have been movies that have come out, but you gotta give me some.
Oh, no. It's not one that went to theaters. Red, White, and Royal Blue. That one was really good.
Red, White, and Royal Blue. Is that about America?
No, it's a romance. It's like a enemies to lovers romance movie. It was a book. And it was put on film, but it was released on Amazon Prime.
I see the Prime Video. It's a romantic comedy.
It's really good. I liked it a lot. I've watched it 3 times since it came out.
It's depicting a love affair between the son of the President of the United States. Oh no, is this going to Prince?
Yeah, it's the son of the President and the Prince of England.
Okay. Is there any reason? That's like, okay.
I can't, like, give it away. It's not any fun.
Is it supposed to be like a Romeo and Juliet situation?
No, it's enemies to lovers. So, like, they're in, you know, kind of the same social circle, but the backstory of it that, okay, I can share this because it's, like, in the trailer. But essentially, Alex, who is the son of the president, gets sent to the royal wedding for the prince's older brother. Because the prince that he has, like, that he's, like, in love with is second in line for the throne. Not, like, the main one. And so, or it's, like, third in line. If it's, like, their mom, then the older brother, then him. And they have, like, they're, like, at odds with each other. And, like, you kind of don't really know why, but you just kind of know that, like, Alex doesn't really like Henry. But then they're, like, kind of arguing at the reception, and then they end up toppling over the wedding cake onto themselves. And it's, like, big news. And so when he goes back to America, his mom's like, you need to fix this. And so, like, her, like, PR person sends him back to England, and they're like, you guys are gonna, like, pretend like you're really good friends to, like, fix all this press. And then they actually like start to become friends, and then like talk all the time, and then they like, yeah, goes from there. But they don't like each other at first.
Okay. Okay, because on its face, it seems like a Romeo and Juliet situation, you know?
No. It's like
I guess
deeper.
It's a different depth.
Yeah, I feel like it covers some like good topics too. Like the having versus not having like an outwardly supportive family. And like choosing about like coming out of the closet and how you do that, and yeah, it was really good.
Love who you want. It's good foreign policy. That's the tagline.
It's good foreign policy. That's funny. Because one of the other plots is that his mom is like the president and like starting like the re-election campaign. And that was like, there's like a trade deal with England that needs to go well as part of her campaign for her platform for re-election, which is why he has to go do damage control.
Since when is a trade deal with England been such a big part of a re-election campaign?
I don't know. I truly could not say. But I was like, I'm going to willfully suspend my disbelief for the purposes of enjoying this movie.
It's fine. All right, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, put it on the list. It'll be good. Everyone else put it on the list too if you haven't watched it.
I have to find my list. I do have a list. And as soon as I can find it, I'll put it. There it is. Red, white, and
royal blue. There's also a book. I have it on hold at the library.
Yeah, it says from the 2019 novel. So it's a pretty recent book. They really churned that one out. They really got the movie out quick.
Yeah, it was really popular. I mean, I think they filmed last year. So, like, 3 years after it was written.
Yeah.
They wrapped filming, so. Pretty big.
On women aged 15 to 25.
Is that what it says?
No, I just made that up, but you believed it.
I really did. It falls into the category of, like, the summer I turned pretty, like, the people who are, like, consuming all of that, like
all those
media, and, like, the Guts album from Olivia Rodrigo that just came out. It's all the, quote, teenage girls in their 20s.
Yeah. Okay, well that's Elizabeth reviews movies.
I did watch Good Will Hunting recently, which is like an actually like really good movie.
There's nothing wrong with red, white, and royal blue.
Amen to that. Pop off, Daniel.
I've never seen it. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with
it. I know. I'm just being silly. But yes, Good Will Hunting, also very incredible movie. Okay, so where all did you hit on your road trip? Just high level.
Anyway,
rattle them off.
Yeah, we started in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And then because we technically took a detour to New York City for like a week, but okay.
Oh, you took a detour to the city?
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense. Yeah.
It's before he dies. And then we went to Jacksonville, or we started there. Let's say we started there. And then we went to Atlanta. That's one day. It's like a 6-hour drive. It's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get in. The flight didn't get in until like noon, and then by the time you get, so like I really got in pretty late, so I didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Noah really wanted Garrett to meet Owen, so we did that.
Yeah.
For some reason.
For some reason.
Well, then we all got sick. So immediately after, the next day, Noah texts me and tells me Garrett got COVID.
Oh.
And
Yes, that's true. I knew that because I didn't see him at the football game on that Saturday.
Yeah, I think Noah, I don't know if Noah ever got it, but he said he was feeling fine. I never followed up, but it sounded like he did.
He did not get it.
Yeah. So anyway,
Somehow.
we were fine. We didn't feel anything, but that saga will continue later in the conversation.
Okay.
And then we went to Nashville. Yeah, we went to Nashville for like the day.
Mm-hmm.
We lost walking around there, I will say. Because parking is weird, and it's a while to find a place where we could park for a reasonable price. And it's the whole thing. We did that. We did, we did the Parthenon. That was one of the days. You got to be careful depending. Well, you're going on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
We went on like Tuesday, and on Tuesdays they don't open until like 2:00 or something, or like 3:00 or something weird. Like they don't.
That is weird.
Day. So we had to like wait around for like an hour or so, and then it rained. Kind of a mess that day. And then the next day we went to St. Louis.
Okay.
When we get here, Owen starts to feel a little under the weather.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's a little tricky. And keep in mind, well, no, never mind. So he starts feeling a little under the weather. And I think when did we? He took a COVID test. I think the next morning. So he was like feeling under the weather that night, and then he took a COVID test the next morning. It was negative.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird. Alright, but he's definitely like, like sore throat and like some fatigue and some like, it was probably just a cold.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, it's kind of that time of the year we're entering where you can get
It
all.
Is. The early fall colds.
Yeah. Everyone gets the disease nowadays. So all the cool kids are doing it. So but I was feeling great. Okay. I've never felt better. And then the next stop after St. Louis is the middle of nowhere, Kansas, because we have to get to Denver the next day because that's where his brother lives.
Mm-hmm.
So that was sort of a planned stop. So we just kind of go because when you're out in the middle of the country there, let me tell you, Kansas, it looks exactly how you'd expect.
Nothing.
It's
Empty.
a lot. Yeah.
Fields.
It's a lot. There's a lot of Kansas. I mean, like I said, we had to stop in the middle just to sleep that night. And Owen, he's not feeling great. He's still pretty bad. I'm feeling great. But because at this point, his brother's starting to get concerned because we're about to visit him.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I think at that point, his fever goes away and he's not feeling as fatigued, but he's still got a little bit of a sore throat, but it's not too, it's kind of in a manageable situation. And it's been a couple days by then. And then we get to Denver. And this is kind of where all hell breaks loose because Denver, as most people know, it's got a lot of elevation there, right?
Yes.
Very high up. It's also you wouldn't necessarily think about it if you've never been there, or, you're not familiar with that part of the country. It's very dry there.
Oh. I didn't know how dry it was. I knew it was, in the clouds.
It reminded me a bit of Arizona, like in terms of just the dryness.
Interesting.
And you get the elevation, which I think, and I'm not a scientist, Elizabeth is, but I'm pretty sure the elevation is not good for like inflammation in your body.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Elizabeth is the doctor, so
how am I the doctor and you were not the doctor?
It's a company that has produced medical products.
Fair enough.
For now, right?
I'm sure that's how that works.
So he and I both can get pretty bad allergies, and this is where it just gets terrible. Like we didn't even sleep that night. I mean, just because now you're combining the dry air and the allergies, and he's a little sick. It's like kind of all in one, and the
everything all at once, and it's not good.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
And so then we leave there to go to the first. So now the next 3 days are camping. They're like all in the national parks area. Basically the Yellowstone and adjacent areas. The
Okay.
first one we went to was like near, like right on the corner of Utah and Colorado. Um, and that night, I start to not feel great. So I'm like 3 days behind Owen at this point, right? He's kind of on the down. He's got like a little cough, but he's doing okay. And now I'm not feeling great. And we're camping too. So now you've got sleeping in a tent, the elevation, dry air, the inflammation, and the sickness.
You've
And
got it all. All in one.
We did everything. It was everything. And he was like, "Are you enjoying this?" I'm like, "I feel like I would if we didn't have to deal with all these,
ailments."
Because like every night that I slept, or the next morning, I guess I would have like neck pain just because I think of the angle, like the sleeping bag, like just something weird about.
Yeah. No, I get that.
We had like a pretty decent sized tent. Like I think it was a 3-person tent. People, so it's pretty good. We had like an extra spot for like all our junk and everything, and we had a decent amount of we had like a yoga mat under the thing. We did like that and put like a blanket underneath. So you had like a decent amount of padding.
Yeah, so you're doing it right. It's just you're still in a tent at the end of the day.
It's not ideal for our conditions. And so so then we did that. Then we did a couple more days, and we did Yellowstone one of the days, and that was pretty good. But again, we're both not feeling great, and we had like sore throats, and we're coughing a lot. But at this point, we're kind of past the fatigue and the fever, so now it's more just like a throat issue. Like a congestion, I guess, because again, the allergy, you still have out, and you're 6,000 feet of sea level too, so.
Yeah, which is still bad, for like the point being, like, a sore throat will really mess up a road trip.
Yeah,
in my experience.
Like, kind of do hiking too, but like you're breathing in the dry air, so it's like
you're just like drying yourself out as you go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but anyway, either way, like the Yellowstone stuff was pretty good, like what we did. And then we went to like Eastern Washington State next day, and then just so. So that's pretty much it. We pretty much did a little diagonal. We hit some cities just because, Atlanta makes more sense, but we had to get to Denver to see his brother. I think we chose St. Louis over Kansas City because the Kansas City to Denver is like a long drive.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
that makes sense.
Half of Colorado. And something else that maybe, again, this is breaking news, but Eastern Colorado, like everything before you get to Denver, looks exactly like Kansas.
So it's not even like fun mountains, it's just like...
No, yeah, once you get Denver, there's mountains, it's a completely different state. But before then, it's basically just more Kansas.
Ugh. Kansas. Not to just hate on Kansas this whole podcast, but like...
I was telling Owen as we were driving through there, I was like, oh, this is real America, okay?
This is the heartland.
That's what I say, yeah, this is what America is, okay? This is what it really is.
Childish Gambino song. This is America.
There you go. But that's kind of the big overview. Like I said, the illnesses were not great, and some of it could have just been like generic, like road trip illness, just kind of. And then, like I said, allergies are also. It's hard to tell. But even, I think today is the first day I feel like really great. It helped about a week. So, the back half was mostly like fall. I had to work this past weekend nights, and I left work early. Like my first night back, I was like,
yeah. Oh man.
Walking in front of my supervisor, and she's like, "Yeah, you can go home early." And I used a sick day the next day because it was like I just needed another day to reset.
Yeah.
Because
I think something. Sorry.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Oh, just something that I've like realized as like a young professional is just that like after you travel, you kind of need you need to build a day into like the back of travel to like take time.
Usually I'll visit him because I go to him all the time for like a week. I fly in like a Wednesday, like afternoon. I get in like in the afternoon, and then I go to work the next night. So I kind of have like 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of the same, but I was coming all the way from Seattle at the time, so it was a much longer trip, and it was also longer.
Changing your
Trip. It was also a
time
road.
zones.
Just, yeah, well, the time zone is not because I shift, so the time zone is like not much. It was more just like the longer travel day, I guess, and
Yeah.
coming back from a long trip, like just the road trip itself, is a longer trip.
Mm-hmm.
Still, like normally when I go visit him, it's for a week, like just at his apartment. So it's like, yeah, that was my life for the last like 2.5 weeks. So,
Pretty fun though, minus the sickness.
Yeah.
A grand United States adventure. Did you sing the song as you were driving? Just like 50 nifty United States.
Song. We did hit a lot of states that he hasn't been to. Like he's got a map or whatever, so he's keeping track of that.
Oh, that's good. I feel like the middle of the U.S. is hard to get because it's like, why would you go there? Unless you're on like a specific adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like Wyoming. We went to Montana. I got a t-shirt from Montana. Montana.
Ooh.
One thing, big huckleberry country out there.
What's a huckleberry? Like an actual berry?
Yeah, it's like an actual berry. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I'll offend all of our Montana audience. But
do they make jam out of it? Like, is it like a?
It's like any other berry. I want to call it like kind of similar. The most similar berry is like a blueberry. It's almost a mixture of a blueberry and a raspberry, kind of. Don't do that because again, our Montana audience will get furious that I'm saying it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had like so we went to like this. One of the charging stops had a like his Tesla supercharger stops was at the travel center, which is really just a gas station with like a little restaurant attached and a gift shop. Like the gift shop was insane. It was like the size of a TJ Maxx. Like it was.
Oh, it's big, like a Buc-ee's.
Not like a huge. Yeah, it was basically like a Buc-ee's, but like in the middle of nowhere, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got like some, but their big thing on the billboard was like best shake ever, Huckleberry Shake.
Did you get it?
So yeah, we had to get it, obviously.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's pretty good. Well, like I said, it's like I said, it's like kind of like a blueberry raspberry kind of hybrid
kind
thing.
Of fusion.
Yeah, in a way, like that's kind of what it tastes like. It's like a berry. But it's pretty good. And they have they had like jams that they made out of it. Everything you could make, you could use other berries for. They had.
Makes sense.
I told them we should get like a jar, but yeah. They had like dressings, like salad dressing. Sauces like for your burger. They had like a huckleberry sauce that they put on the burger. Like they had everything. It was in everything. It's huckleberry country. I think it's the official state fruit of Montana and Idaho. So.
Wow. The more you know, honestly.
Yeah, these are your fun facts.
Yeah, this is gonna help me win trivia one day.
I forget why I put that up, but that's what that is.
Did you get anything Huckleberry to go?
That's what I was telling you what we should get, but we didn't want to get anything, so we didn't.
Oh, well, I guess that's fair.
Well, we got t-shirts, yeah.
Yeah. T-shirt will last you longer than jam.
Yeah, we don't want to get too hooked up. Yeah, like the shake they give you is pretty big too. Like we probably could have gotten just one. He'll hate that I say that, but like they're pretty big.
You could have just shared.
Yeah, we probably could have just.
I feel like with things like that, I will usually err on the side of sharing, just in case I don't like it.
These are the best shakes ever. It was listed on the billboard as the best shake ever, so we knew we had to like it because
That's fair. They had already told you that you didn't need to be worried that it was going to be the best ever, so you were good.
that was not a concern. Because we ordered it with our meal, which I think was probably the better way to do it. Because getting it afterward, then bringing it in the car, maybe that would have been. I don't know. But
There are no rules.
yeah, there's no rules. But for those wondering, we drove a Tesla, an old Tesla Model 2, like 2018. And it was got all the way across. No issues. Really no. There was like one point where it was a little sketchy, but we were fine.
Like,
Probably
worried about running out of charge sketchy?
Yeah.
Between stations?
It was leaving Denver. The area, like the northeast corner of Utah, like it has like one tiny dead spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the place we went camping after we left. It was just weird. There's plenty like around Yellowstone and all that. It was just like this one spot where it's like, we had to go, I want to say we had to go about 240 miles. Well, maybe a little over 200, maybe 220 miles between charging stations. And his car says it gets 280, but that doesn't account for like elevation and all that. So it was a little sketchy.
Ah, I see.
The way to do it is just to like drive 5 miles below the speed limit, and you can make it. So
Mm-hmm.
the amount you're going to use is going to vary by like the speed you go, and like you don't have to use the AC and stuff like that. But either way, we made it pretty easily, so it wasn't a big deal.
The more you know. For anyone driving a Tesla in the near future across the country.
You could do it. We've proven you can do it. A lot of these hotels, like we try to look for hotels that had chargers because like it's free, and even then charging is pretty cheap. It's a lot cheaper than gas. It was kind of nice also we could see like the gas prices across the country.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I have noticed like it's been cheaper in South Carolina than in Georgia. Georgia's been like really high, and then the governor, I think, actually signed to get rid of the gas tax while it's really high to try and offset it.
Georgia imports all of their gas. They get a lot of their gas from the Mediterranean.
The state of Georgia?
Yeah. Listen, I did a project in grad school on this, so you can call me, you're the doctor, but I'm the expert on where Georgia gets its.
Where Georgia gets its gas.
Yeah. They get it from like Louisiana, and then they also have, for some reason, they have a pipeline going, well not a pipeline, but like a metaphorical pipeline.
Metaphorical pipeline.
Yeah, from the Mediterranean. They get shipments from the Mediterranean.
Huh. I mean, we're on the coast, but like, weird.
Yes, but still. Yeah.
It's kind of far.
They have to import everything, basically. So.
Yeah, we don't produce anything.
Yeah.
Peaches.
And
they don't. Peanuts. We don't even produce that many peaches.
Yeah, they're like third in the country in peach production, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I think, because I was telling, it might have been Owen. It was like.
I know it's lower than. I think Florida's higher than us for sure.
Maybe, was it South Carolina? Yeah, it's either Florida or South Carolina that's higher.
Yeah, it's one of our neighboring states, which just kind of makes it funny. But
this says California.
Doesn't like California outproduce Florida and oranges or something like that?
Probably, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this is California, then South Carolina, and then Georgia. And really, these numbers are not even close.
So funny. Yeah. I think our biggest exports are pine and peanuts in Georgia.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think of what else they make down there. Don't they make a lot of, no, never mind.
I don't know. I was just thinking like agriculture type things.
That's what. Yeah, no, I was thinking agriculture. I was thinking of like something else. Maybe not. Maybe I was thinking of pine. That's probably where I was going to end up.
Pine trees.
I think that's the road I was going down, but it took me a while to get there. I was like, they plant a lot of trees, and they do that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pine forests.
Yeah.
Make paper and stuff. Oh, maybe like pecans or walnuts.
Maybe.
I don't know if we would be like high up on the list, but I think we make like a lot of pecans. Maybe it's just like a southeast thing.
Yeah, probably. Okay, we're deep in the podcast. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we head out?
No, I think I'm good.
We didn't get that deep into the Olivia Rodrigo album, but we can probably do that next time.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, I've gotten through some listens. I would say big fan. I think this was a very good sophomore album overall. But I don't think I have an official ranking of my opinions on the songs yet. Except for maybe my least favorite is probably Lacey. I don't know. I've listened to it like twice and I just can't get behind it, so I keep skipping it.
Are you familiar with Harold Styles? Otherwise known as Harry Styles. I said
I am familiar with the one Mr. Harold Styles.
I don't understand his release structure. So he released Harry's House, which is if I knew it was. But like the singles that he releases don't make any sense. So like, where is it? Okay, so the first single was released a month before the album comes out. I feel like that's pretty normal, right? You release the lead single, as it was, and then a month after releasing, you release the next single, Late Night Talking, which I feel like is also a thing. You know, you see what's popular and release. Then several months later, in October, so like, again, I'm not the math person, that's a week, but that looks like 5 months later, we released another single. But these are songs that are already on the album. They're not like releasing a new song. These are just releasing as a single.
I feel like that's a thing, though, that like sometimes artists will push a song later.
A year later, again, these are songs that were already released as part of the album. He pushes Satellite as a single. A year later?
I don't know. I mean, that is kind of interesting and odd. I'll give you that.
Alright, well, that was my rant about him. So.
Yeah, I don't know. That is weird. I agree. I mean, like,
Harry,
I feel like Taylor Swift, like, I don't know if she really pushed Cruel Summer as a single or if it was, like, more like her team or whatnot because of all the popularity it got from the Eras tour.
I guess touring plays into that. Look, you can do whatever you want. I was just like, when I was like pulling up like the, it's just a single when it was released. This is like just my personal rant that no one cares about.
I care about it.
I think we're done here. Again, we'll get into the Olivia Rodrigo album
next time. So people you got to come back for more.
Yeah, they've been begging for it, so we'll leave them on that. But thank you for coming on.
Yeah, of course.